Orson Welles is like, 100 pounds lighter than his, at his death.
Yeah.
Maybe 200 pounds.
Some of the makeup and like prosthetic pieces that they put on were just kind of funny. Like all the makeup to make him look really old. Like, he's old. Let's put him in a wheelchair and just put a big blanket over him. Like fucking FDR.
Give him a few wrinkles.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that this show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show.
Once again, or for the very first time.
Well, for the first time in over a year, Cerny, this weekend is the big Cerny pool kickoff bash. It's
Waxed
the official
and Vax'd hot girl summer.
It's the
sure.
hot girl, the Chip and Cern.
Kicking off.
Hot girl summer's kicking off with a bang. And summer hasn't officially started, or spring, or whatever season you wish, until the Cernys have opened their pool for friend and family alike.
So the pool is open. I have been beginning of the week. So despite it being cooler, I guess for us NorCal boys, it's
a very welcome cool front in the mid 70s. Which is super manageable.
Yes. Now, in the mid-70s, when you're a child, the pool is open, baby. It is open.
Yeah.
It's 70. As soon as the first day it touches 75, Jeffrey, his ass is his undies in the pool.
I'm surprised he even has undies on, to be honest with you.
He's
that's
gone to the buff. He's gone skinny dipping.
It's a coin flip.
But, so this week, because I know everyone's coming in on Sunday.
Yep.
So the beginning of the week, I said, okay, Monday, it was kind of cool. I said, all right, no swimming. It's off today. And I just put in, all the muriatic acid and all the...
Because when you do your big chemical dump, you don't want to go in there and burn all your skin.
No, I don't want you to melt your skin out. You don't want to come out a skeleton. Yeah. So, I pour it all in and just make sure it's all good. I scrubbed the sides with the brush. Got the pool sweep going, and I was skimming. It was a few days of me working on the pool, but it is crystal clear. It's like glass out there.
Wow, I cannot wait to do my first cannonball. Now, what's it going to look like the day after? What's it going to look like on Monday when everyone leaves? Is it going to be?
Oh, it's going to be a murky mess. Oh. So usually what I do is I have this shock. So my trick is I usually put in a bag the day before everyone gets in there. It's a salt shock. So I just throw it in there, and it kind of helps me, because the first time I didn't do it, I came back like the next day. I was like, holy fuck, the pool looks like a swamp. Like the swamp thing was about to come out.
Really?
Like,
just after one day of having
all those bodies
and everyone pissing.
And it was a newer pool too. But I talked to this guy at work. He's like, dude, throw a bag of shock in before everyone gets there. It ain't going to hurt nothing. It only helps because it's the day before, so it's not going to hurt anybody,
Yeah.
But it's in the system, so you won't have a
it's
roller
like
coaster.
It's like when you do, before you go to the gym, you take the preload.
Yes.
The pre-workout. Yeah, pre-workout. Remember we would take the pre-workout, like when we were in high school, when like creatine was
creatine. Yes,
creatine. We had one teacher that called it creatine, so that's how Cerny and I we're like obligated to refer to it as creatine now.
Yes.
But it was like that just came out, and like of course everyone on the football team, they were going to GNC and getting that, and that's kind of when pre-workout came out.
Oh, you can buy that. It wasn't even locked up at that point in time.
No.
You just buy it straight up.
You just buy it straight up. And
you
that stuff...
remember the little drops? Little serum drops? Serum.
Yeah, I mean, there was... Oh, that's right. And people on the football team would be like going around like dosing just droplets of...
Yeah.
Before
lunch and stuff.
Yeah, before lunch. Just like,
right,
let me get some bonus creatine. And, that pre-workout. I mean, there must... I don't think what we were taking now, 15... 10 to 15 years ago is necessarily the same. I think they had to dial it back a little bit because I remember you would go to the gym and you'd be like, I'm fucking pumped right now. Like,
oh yeah, you could work out. I remember doing like you would bench and you could just bench for like, you could feel like for hours. You would never get tired.
It was like I'm sure people had heart attacks on it because it just made everything.
And then remember we used
vasodilated or whatever.
I don't know if you did, but remember creatine was the thing.
Yeah.
And then it switched to NO. Remember it was like NO after that because it was like,
I don't remember that.
I remember it was like creatine, but then it makes you kind of puffy and like a lot of water weight.
Right.
So then everyone kind of switched over to NO, the nitric oxide. And then that was supposed to make you cut and you could still do it. And I remember like, I did a cut. I was like, wow. But then like the days you didn't go to the gym, you felt like a piece of shit. You're like, wow, what the hell?
You just
like
felt horrible.
Like a slug.
Yeah. Some of that stuff is odd, is definitely strange. Well, the pool, Cerny, it's not only heating up over at your residence since, I don't know, the last 2 weeks. Dad, how many days until we go to Cerny's pool? Because we told her a couple weeks ago that we were going to go sometime soon, but we with kids, you can't really, you don't want to get burned. Because if you say we're going tomorrow and then plans fall through, absolutely devastation.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
There's nothing
the world is ending. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you've wrecked their life.
Oh,
to this point, this is the worst moment in life.
And I think it might really be to them. Is what it feels like,
Yeah,
like
yeah. It'd be it's like one of those, like, at that moment in time, they would rather you be dead than not going to the pool.
Yeah. So we've learned from our mistakes. So we're pretty vague about giving out timelines and things. I'm sure very similar techniques that are employed.
I've been burned plenty of times, like tomorrow, and like it happens. The shit happens, and it's like, okay, maybe the next day. You said today, and I said, I know. But
they don't get how life works quite yet. So, but as my daughter's getting older, she's 5.5. She'll be, I'm sure, telling everybody they can handle a little better, right? So it's not the most devastating thing if there's a wrinkle in the plan. So she said, how many days? 6 days. Oh my God. Then every day there's a new ask. And then so she has a pretty good wrangle on how far away it is. Dad, I can't even, it hurts to think about going to the pool because she's like so excited. She can't stop thinking about it. Which I appreciate. Dad, what should we bring to Cerny's house? I said, well, I'll tell you what you don't need to bring. You don't need to bring, she's really into LOLs and Barbies, right? And I said, the last time that you were at Cerny's house, which was a year ago. Let's just call it a year ago.
2019. Shit. No, a little bit. 2020. That's right.
Yeah. We did. We had a little thing.
We had a little
very safe thing. And from pretty much 10 minutes upon our arrival, and then to 10 minutes before we left, you were in the pool the entire time, and you came out twice to eat and poop once.
Yeah, that's it.
So I don't think.
And to eat was like a bite, 2 bites. Like, am I good? Okay, I'm going back.
Yeah. She satisfied whatever quota that we had up. Whatever
she got her money's worth.
Yeah. So what should I bring? I'm like, well, you're going to be swimming. So a towel, your floaties. I don't need goggles. Okay. But this isn't going to be a thing. Just every day she's at, what else can we bring? I'm like, I mean, for swimming, it's really just your swimsuit and your towel, sunscreen, I said,
sun's out, buns out, baby.
Yeah. I said, maybe you probably want to bring your PJs because we're going to be there for so late. You'll probably fall asleep on the way home, and then it'll just be better. We're going to stay. I'm like, yeah, we're going to be there. I mean, we're getting our money's worth.
Pool light. We got pool light. Charlie.
If we're being charged, cover charge.
Cover charge.
And I saw an itemized list, like at a hotel minibar. Like a hotel minibar. Surcharges.
You went to the bathroom 3 times. That's 3 flushes.
That's okay.
Oh, Charlie took a deuce. Ooh, that's an extra flush.
That's an extra one. Yep. Oh, that's a lot of TP she's using there. So a lot of questions about what to bring. I said, I will. One thing that we enjoyed last year was, now, Cerny, sound like a couple old fogies here. Back in our day, when you wanted to make water balloons, you had to get this little nipple thing that would attach the end of the hose, and then your buddy's controlling the hose while you do one at a time.
This is back in the day when, remember we used to go, well, allegedly we used to, well, this is 7 years after the fact. Plenty of, we're 7 years way behind us.
Limitations on
we used to
teenager
go water
hijinks.
balloons. We used to throw water balloons at people. We're driving around. Looking back, I'm like, wow, that was dumb. But, at the time, but remember the hours we would put in, just tying balloons, but the fingers were all red. It was the worst.
And then you would get it, and then nothing worse than when you tie the knot off and it bursts or something, or someone's careless with stacking them. So now
Hero.
he should be a Pulitzer. He should be like a Nobel Prize winner, this guy. Invented basically like, how many can you make in one shoot? 50 water balloons?
Something like that. 1,500, something like that. Yeah.
It's this whole little attachment that you buy. They sell them everywhere. Amazon, Costco, that sells them. Everybody sells them.
Walmart.
And you screw this to your thing, to your hose, and you just turn the hose on, and it fills all of them at the same time, and they all just fall off. It's all tied up, ready to go.
Immediately.
It saves, I think this guy was on the Shark Tank, right?
I don't know, but he's
if they were, you would have had 6 sharks fucking nutting their shorts. Just, oh my God, this is like the best fucking idea ever, right?
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'll ask Cerny, because I know you have your pool, and I could see those little balloon things getting caught in the filter, and I'm like, I just want to check before we bring a bunch of shit over. Because again, if I show up with a ton of water balloons and then that gets kiboshed, disappointment all around. So I want to avoid that whole situation. So
it's game over. We've used plenty of water balloons. In fact,
outstanding
neighbors. They have kids. They were filling up water balloons one day. I don't know what got into them, because it's not like I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? I mean, I'll talk. Hey, what's going? I'll nod to them,
like,
and stuff.
Oh, hey, when you see them ride their bike by or whatever.
Yeah, but they were kids. One day I was like out in the backyard, and I got hit right in the fucking square of my back with a water balloon. I was like, oh, okay. And I was, I hear like giggling, I was like,
ooh.
So I did turn around and said, game on. So it was a battle. We got the boys out. I said, get them.
Nice.
Get them, boys.
That's fun.
I wasn't going to be, I'm not gonna. It's just his
Did you
kids,
stand on top of the fence just throwing BBs at these kids, pelting them?
Zach was like, he's like climbing the fence. He was like standing on top, like King Kong on top of the fucking Empire State Building, heaving him. I was like, yeah, boy.
The original King Kong from 1999. That King Kong, Cerny?
The Peter Jackson,
Bonanza. Jack Black, yeah.
Yeah.
So now for any other fellow dads out there, or anyone who's listening that wants because one of the like luxuries, one of the benefits of having kids is that you get to fuck with them. Oh, yeah. So one thing that we did, we have, if you got a big ice chest full of all your beers and your waters and all your drinks. Now, kind of as the inventory starts depleting in there, you kind of scoop off some of that icy water that has a definite chill to it, and you start storing your water balloons in there. But you got to keep it off. It's like the parents' reserve, parental reserve.
But it's almost like the beer cooler. Kids don't go in there.
Yeah, and Cerny excellent addition with the pro tip. You just put them in the beer cooler, because then the kids aren't sniffing around there at all. Anyway, they know.
Going to the soda. That's it.
Yeah,
they'll figure out. I mean, you don't do it right away, because there's always a little confusion on which one's which. Yeah. But once they figure out where the soda and the juices and all that stuff, that's all they're saying.
And then you put the water balloons in there, and you get them an icy chill. And then when you want to fuck some kids up, you drop a fucking
then the kids
ice
get wise.
balloon
Like,
on
I'm in
them.
the pool anyway. You can't get me. Like, and then they get hit with the ice ball.
Ooh, that'll rock your world.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Now, when you have one of those, my move that I like to do is I like to smash it on them to guarantee the hit, because it's like a special delivery.
Yeah, it's the worst when you throw it and like a couple droplets hit him in the forehead or something, but it misses them. But then they know what the game is.
Yeah,
the shock is over.
You need
element of surprise is done.
Maximum impact, maximum damage points.
Yes.
You want a bonus multiplier, a headshot bonus multiplier. If you can smash on top of their head, I think is that the creme de la creme The head water balloon smash right there. I don't think you're beating that. Yeah.
You know, it's the best too. So the kids have been really being agitated with me lately because I've been using their lingo against them.
Hold on. Like, I need a refresh on some of this. Are you, yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
So like, you know, we covered before cap, you know, stop the cap, no cap. So I just scream cap when they start talking. So then like they have this thing, like, I'm sure you've seen it, like, sheesh, you know, like, I'm thinking. Or bussin', you know.
Bussin'. That's what Joshua Wiseman loves.
Yeah, bussin'.
Which sounds, well, the first time I heard that, I'm like, that sounds like busting a nut. That's what I thought.
I think it was what it stems off of. Like, this is about the bust. You know, I think it kind of stemmed from there.
It's so good, you're going to bust a nut?
Yeah,
nice.
I think so. I think that's how it stemmed. That's my own assessment of the situation.
Okay.
So then, like, I saw this thing today. It was like, you know, kids today. It was like, you know, like, oh, can we be friends? Sheesh. You know, they start doing that shit. Like, what's your favorite games? Like, you know, they start like, that's the flapjack facts, my guy. Oh, my guy. That's another one.
My guy?
My guy.
Okay.
So I always like, you know, like Zach starts talking like, my guy, quit capping. Yeah, he's like, would you stop? Would you stop? I'm like, cap.
Well, cap. Stan. Are they using that one? You stand something. It's like it's from the Marshall Mathers song, "The Stand." It's like you're really a huge fan of something.
Oh,
so you're like, I stand the Chip and Cern show. Means you're way into it.
You're a soccer fan, no way.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you think if I showed up on Sunday and I was also using some of the cool lingo, do you think that would be bothersome? Let's do it.
Would
that be bothersome to them?
It'll be bothersome. We'll be the old stupid fucks using their shit.
You mean the same thing that we were doing when we were like fucking 15?
Yeah. We're using bee's knees.
Yeah, we were using weird. Yeah, totally. And we were discussing before the show, Cerny, you were labor. You did some manual labor. Erected a nice greenhouse in your backyard. It looks great, and your wife posted on Facebook. And as I've been known to do with her, I do sometimes like to bust a little balls because, in my view,
I endorse.
In my view, there is a lack of proper acknowledgement of any help, any outside help, and it appears to the outside world that she herself erected said greenhouse. There was no thanks for the help, hubby, or anything like this. So I always like to kind of chime in and just, you know, let her know that people are thinking about Cern. That there's some Cerny sluts in the world here.
Well, thank you. I think yeah, it was a nice greenhouse. Now, she designed it, but there's a lot of discussion because people will be walking inside of this thing, so it can't be faint of heart, or it has to be tied together, and it has to kind of. So there's always a lot of times of math. You know, you have to like, okay, hold on, this has to hold this, and this has to be here. You know. And
yeah. So did you have to frame that thing up like a little baby house or a shed or something?
If you walk inside, it's like a little baby house, and there's like it's holding windows. So like in the picture, those are windows that it's holding.
Right? Yes, they are. I didn't even think about that. So you framed in a couple dual painters in there.
Single pane because it's a greenhouse.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it went up faster than I thought because at first the idea, and I was like. Well, okay, so here's the hardest part. So it was sitting on, where there was a shed there.
Oh.
That was where our shed was.
On the retaining wall?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on the retaining wall.
Yes.
So at first I had to unload, this is the backstory no one knows.
Oh.
I had to unload the shed.
Fuck.
Make a shed on the side. Like I had to build a shed for the side to hold all of our Christmas and decorations.
The contents of the shed.
Yes,
okay.
Move it over there. So I build that first.
So you had to make a whole thing before you can start your project.
Before you can start the actual project I wanted to happen. And then when we did that,
no thanks.
So she wanted to have it so many bricks wide and whatever. So I had to cut into because it's on a hill. So I had to cut the hill with a breaker bar, and it was rock.
It is Folsom. El Dorado Hills.
So it took me a whole day of just with the breaker bar cutting it with a rock. I was pretty sore after that.
And Cerny, we're not spring chickens anymore in our mid-30s.
No.
So a day of manual labor like that, you're going to be fucking laid up for a minute or two.
Yeah, my arms and my back were a little sore. Fortunately, Jeffrey's at the perfect age where he's like 50 pounds. So I'm like, hey, can you walk on my back? He's not going to like paralyze me when he walks on me. It feels great.
Yeah. Well, my son, who's 20, he's sniffing 30 pounds now, two-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I was just laying on the ground, just like on my phone. And out of nowhere, he just ran up behind me and just full fucking weight just landed. Yeah. I'm like, ugh! And everyone's like, oh, you should have saw that coming. I'm like, what? No, heads up.
Yeah.
You're going to get like a baby.
Oh, I'm sorry, my eyes in the back of my head were blinking at the
time. So what did you do with the shed that was on the hill?
That got scrapped because it was a plastic. It was like the original. That shed was the original
at the house when you bought
it. At the house when we bought it, and we rolled. It was actually in a different spot when we bought the house, and we did like the old Egyptian like fucking logs and rolled it. I'm serious. Like we put rolled it up to where it's at.
That's pretty cool. It's probably pretty heavy.
It was heavy. Yeah, it was heavy enough where we had to do it that way. Because I was like, well, we can lift it, but we couldn't do it. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Damn.
So we scrapped. We just disassembled that, and it was actually like the plastic was pretty brittle, where I could just boom, and it was like boom, and it blew out.
Oh wow. Okay. It's been. I mean, dude, it's just sitting out in the Sacramento 100-degree sun, rain for 8 years. It's
Yeah. So I had to take it all out, build a shed on the side, and then cut the hill back to fit the size that it was wanted. But then we had to flatten the ground too because it was all wavy.
Oh,
it was.
So this other shed that you built, did you get like one of those tough shed things?
Oh no, I built it from. I built it from cinder block and 4x4s, and then like wall house siding. It's custom because it was like I saw like okay
like by your garden
because it's on the side of the house, so I could only make it so deep or so wide. And I was like looking at
most sheds are like a different.
Yeah, and once you had to buy like two of them, and it's gonna be like $1,000 just for the two sheds. It's like, fuck it, I'm building it.
I feel like a shed is something that needs to be done right because we have a couple sheds at our house too that have been here for I don't know, but they're like aluminum.
Oh yeah,
and I put shit in it because I thought it was cool, and then turns out it leaks like a motherfucker. So all the shit in there was like ruined. Basically, and I'm like, that sucks. And there's two of them there. I'm like, could we just get like one? A tough shed, I feel, is a legitimate piece, prefabbed shed. Let's get one good shed rather than two shitty sheds.
One good big ass shed.
That we could just use it. And now we got stuff, and there's fucking spiders all over the place. And anyway, so I got to check out your sheds. 2 sheds.
The shed.
Got to use the cool lingo and the greenhouse. Okay. Any? Have you been? You got your nest, your AC dialed in to certain temperatures. Just
it's been it's kind of a wild ride. It was like it got hot, and then it was nice and cool. Where actually it was borderline where I was like, ooh, I'm a little cold during the day.
Ooh, that's nice.
And now today I was like, I'm hot again.
Yeah. I have not turned my heater or AC on for 2.5 months, I would say.
No, actually, it's been nice and
Somehow my PG&E bill still crazy. Somehow.
That's usually discouraging too. And like, oh fuck, it's still shitty, and I have to go to the summer. Who knows?
And they act like, oh, if you operate in these really strict guidelines for PG&E, you'll see huge savings in your bill.
It's like,
if you just run the AC from 9 p.m. to midnight, and you'll save $100 a month. But I haven't been running it at all, and my bill is more. So riddle me this, fucking PG&E.
I had the same thing when I talking about my gas. So the gas is, we don't use a lot of gas, and it was like $200. I said, hey, what the fuck? Because it was like everyone was saying, wait a minute, this is not, there's a miscalculation here. So they sent me back like, well, if you keep your house at 55 degrees, I'm like, 55? I'm not packing meat in here. Fuck you. There's no way. I'm not. This is not a refrigerator unit. This is a house with people living in it. Fuck you.
That's those aren't
Never replied to me. I said, are you serious? And I said, this is actual living people here, not a refrigerator unit. Please. And they never replied to that.
Dude, when I get fired up about stuff like that, if it's been a couple of days, I'll reply again, be like, did you get my email? Just to fuck with them. It's like, I'm right, motherfucker. Just won this one. Put it in your Zendesk ticket that I won.
That's why I had zero water in my eyes when they were complaining about them going bankrupt. Was it this year or last year?
Yeah.
Like, we can't do it. We're going to go. I said, oh.
You mean all the neglectful maintenance of the power lines and all that stuff? Have you profits? No problem. Let's keep those raking in. But maintenance,
CEO
fires.
Get another bonus, buddy. Get another bonus.
Yeah. Anyway, the people are revolting. So, Cerny, we had some homework last week.
We did.
We were tasks. We tasked each other, and I feel like we I'm surprised we both remembered, honestly.
Yeah.
But I told my wife about it to watch Citizen Kane. And, Cerny, we've probably seen this thing 5 or 6 times, but we fired it up. The wife and I did on last weekend, I think.
I fired up with you. Same way.
I texted you and I said, I'm about 3.5 minutes in, and I see why every single time we watch this movie that we try to leave very quickly, because the movies nowadays have a certain pace to them.
Yes.
And life has a pace, and Citizen Kane does not fit in that pace at all.
No. I understand. This is the argument I've always had. I understand the story. I understand what is the build and everything that goes into it. I just can never get into the movie. I understand. Yeah, he lost his sled, and that's and all the money in the world and everything else, and you can't capture his child. Blah blah blah. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But it.
Yeah, I will say though, the wife loved it. She was like, this movie
my dad
really
loves it
good.
Too.
She's like, I hate his second wife. I'm like, hate? I don't think that film has gotten that sort of emotional reaction out of me. The only thing I hate about it is how fucking slow it was. But I will say it is a very good movie. The story and
stuff
really good.
I just can never get behind it. I can't do it.
I respect that. And I told my wife, I'm like, just be ready. It's like whatever filmmaking 101 class is, or what the textbook class is.
Technically,
this movie is they just took it's as by the book of a film, like from a filmmaker's perspective as you could get. It's just by the book. There's no deviating from anything. It's just
the shots,
the
cuts and all that.
Everything.
Yeah.
Fading
Orson Welles is like 100 pounds lighter than his at his death.
Yeah,
maybe 200 pounds.
Some of the makeup and like prosthetic pieces that they put on were just kind of funny, like all the makeup to make him look really old. Like, oh, he's old. Let's put him in a wheelchair and just put a big blanket over him, like fucking FDR.
Give him a few wrinkles.
Yeah,
we'll paint some wrinkles.
Right, we'll like paint some dark wrinkles, and it's all in black and white too.
Yeah.
Now, do you think how long do you think the kids could sit through that?
So I did test this. I turned it on, and we didn't get past 5 fucking minutes. Even my wife was like, "What the hell is this?"
So, I mean, I surprisingly, I think it held up.
You know, I'm one of those. So this is how I am. I understand, and I get it when everyone's like, "Hey, this is the movie. You know, this is perfect or whatever." I get it. I get it. I understand the story. For
so
me,
what would you rank that on the Rotten Tomatoes meter, Cerny?
A Cern tomato?
This could be brutal.
Oh yeah, this is probably. I'm gonna go. Okay, so I'll be fair, and I'll say 70.
70.
It's boring, and I fucking hate it, but I understand it, so I'm not gonna make it rotten.
Okay.
It'll still be fresh, but a very low fresh.
I think it's fair to have that movie be kind of like in the 90s somewhere. Mid 90s is fine with me.
Okay,
it's a good movie, but yeah, I think they might need to recalibrate the tomato meter a little bit. Because like Fast and Furious or whatever, like, you know, King Kong 1999 also has probably like a 92 or something.
Oh, if that's the case, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That should be in. I'm looking it up right now.
We'll
look it up as we speak.
Oh, we're looking up what King Kong is?
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah.
That was 2000 something, right?
I remember watching it. I think, did we even see it in theaters?
2005. You and I went to there. You and I saw it in the theaters.
Probably right after we graduated high school.
2005. Yep, that would be right. So we were about 18. Let's see.
Of all the dumb shit we could have been doing, we instead went to go see King Kong.
Okay. So the tomato meter, 84.
Really?
But the audience score, 50. That is a huge.
That's
chasm.
a big discrepancy there. So what when you go to select a movie, do you weigh both scores? Do you weigh a weighted average, or
so for me,
with a critic, or what?
I look at both scores. Now, if it's a comedy, usually I don't think the critics are too in on the funny. So I kind of throw them.
They don't get it sometimes.
Yeah, you know, like. Well, I don't know let me see, because I enjoy like a movie like The Other Guys. Let me take a look.
Okay.
I think that movie is actually, because I initially poo-pooed that movie.
Is it a Marky Mark venture joint?
Yeah, but I thought it because it was.
It has Will Ferrell in it, right?
Yeah, Will Ferrell. Now, it's actually 78% on the tomato meter, so.
Respectable.
Maybe I didn't look at that. It is respectable. But usually if it's comedy, I usually take the audience into more heavier weight than but if it's a real movie, not a real movie, but if it's like a drama or whatever it is, then I'll let me look at the tomato meter.
Okay.
See where we're at.
Okay, I have a good example for you, Cerny. Anchorman.
Okay.
What does Cerny think that the critics gave it on the tomato meter?
Anchorman 1?
Anchorman 1, I would say I haven't talked to too many people that are like, oh yeah, that movie sucks. Right?
Cern hates that movie, but
you do? I know you don't like him, but you didn't think that the movie was funny?
No, I didn't like it at all. I actually
turned
it off halfway through.
Okay.
But I'm going to say it's like 30.
Tomato meter was 66. Audience score 86. So the 20 point swing on there. All right. What about 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Now, I did like that movie. I did enjoy that movie a lot.
Let's take a look at what another 2005. I mean, this thing dominated our Chip and Cern ethos. Was like 40-Year-Old Virgin was intertwined throughout. 85 on the tomato meter, 84 on the audience score.
And I agree. I agree with that. That's very fair.
That is a fair assessment. I think so. Okay, so you do a little bit of a look on that one. I feel like we need an app on whatever you use. If it's Plex or your Google TV, your Apple TV or whatever, you need like a Rotten Tomatoes.
Used to do that.
Yeah,
and I can't remember where it was. I used to see that. Or it would like have like you would like pull the movie up, but it would have the tomato meter and stuff on there.
because I think it's a good info to use for helping select a movie. Because, as you know, I mean, you got fucking Disney Plus, you got Hulu, HBO, Netflix, Plex, everything now. Everything's going on. There's just everyone's doing so much content. There's so much, but it's hard to find something to watch.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know why that is.
I struggle with that actually. Like the few nights I have for free, where I'm like, oh, I can catch a little boob tube. I find myself pulling down documentaries.
Oh yeah. Okay. Which ones have you have you seen this new the art one? Okay,
no.
Let me I don't know if it's called The Heist.
Oh yes, I did see that one on Netflix.
Yes, where they took like a Rembrandt.
The seascape, right? The seascape one.
Yeah,
right?
Yes. But then the
in Boston.
In Boston, yeah. Oh, we talked about this on St. Patrick's Day. But they didn't take the frame and steal it. They cut it out, which is basically like it's unusable. You can only get rid of that on the black market.
Yeah, there's no. I guess you have a buyer,
or you think you might have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, I do enjoy that. I did enjoy that one. Just watched one about Dirty Money.
Oh,
it's like a series. So some of them it's like some of the episodes I did enjoy the one about Wells Fargo and how they were just straight stealing, and how everyone was just. And I remember this. I forgot about it, but I remember it. I remember when they were talking about it, everyone was just, fluffing them up like they were the fucking bank.
Oh my god!
Sure.
Yes.
The financial crisis, and they're the only bank coming out. They're the best bank. Stumpf is the
152
CEO.
years and blah blah blah. Everyone's dick is hard as marbles.
Yeah, that fucking stagecoach, and everyone's just blowing them.
They were gobbling that shit up back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Bush.
John Stumpf is the best CEO of the banking industry, and it's like fuck you. And then I forgot about it. Remember that Mad Money guy? What the fuck is that guy?
Kramer.
Yes,
Jim Kramer.
Yes, Jim Kramer. His cross selling. This is the newest way. Where they And then it just came on down,
tumbling down.
And I enjoyed it.
The fall. Well, have they really fallen? I mean, they're still the thing that is crazy. I mean, I know they employ a lot of people, and there are financial institutions, but like literally companies that people trusted to put their money in defrauded the American people, and they're allowed to continue as a business. That's mind blowing to me.
I get bonuses and all the other shit.
They should go and get every fucking penny that they gave that asshole and take it back and pay. Fuck this guy with his. He should have to live in a fucking 2-bedroom apartment in Wisconsin. That's how poor this fucking should be. No offense to anyone in Wisconsin, but he should have to be running the John Deere and shoveling manure on some like dairy farm in Wisconsin, and just making cheese curds all day. That is what he should have to do for being responsible. Because if you're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars, you gotta have something that you could,
Exactly.
Anyway, fuck him. I did see him once, just walking by, $2,000. Just, I'm like, oh, hey, that's the fucking CEO of Wells Fargo around San Francisco one day at lunch or something. Also, like one day when I was in line to get a salad, Newsom was standing in front of me. I'm texting my wife. I'm like, fucking, he was the attorney general at the time, I think. Right?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I'm like,
was the wife, here. She just appear like a cartoon, like,
She's there. Similar to when they were filming Venom. My work was 2 blocks away from where they had all the streets closed down. So everyone kind of like went down to look. People got a selfie with him, with Tom Hardy.
Oh man,
there is a new Venom. have we seen the new Venom trailer yet?
I watched it with Jeffrey.
Oh,
he's all over it.
Well, Cerny, if there's anything that we do better than anybody else is watch videos on our podcast.
All people are listening to us will watch.
They can go and okay, I'm dialing it up here. I'm going to share my screen so me and Cerny can experience it at the same time.
Everyone else just got to visualize it.
Everyone else, you're going to have to visualize. Actually, I'm going to record it in here too. Oh man, we're getting real fucking slick. Whoa. That is
Let
Venom.
there be carnage.
Let there be. I'm going to let this thing buffer a little bit because I'm a little worried we're going to take the internet down here. Let's see. Pause this.
So I know Woody Harrelson is the bad guy. He's Carnage.
That's an interesting pick. I think he's not a spring chicken. This Woody Harrelson.
No.
So
well, it's definitely not.
No, and I thought Carnage was always kind of like a badass. But I guess we'll see. I don't want to make too many judgments. Okay, let's see here.
We did judge back in 2008 when Heath Ledger was the Joker. We were judging pretty hard. The guy from A Knight's Tale. Are you fucking kidding me? Remember that?
Brokeback Mountain dude. I mean, he was getting.
That's right.
He was taking a lot of heat, not just from the Chip and Cern show, but all over.
Globally.
Okay, right, here we go. Venom, Let There Be Carnage trailer. Do you hear anything?
There's no rules eating people. It looks like he has a helper.
I can't hear anything. Hold on. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, here we go. Got to uncheck this mute button. Okay. Take two. Here goes. Here goes the Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
We're in San Francisco, right?
Oh, he's got some.
Okay.
Okay, so his
symbiotes.
Yeah.
Looks a little tired.
Wow, he looks beat.
Catch up.
Excuse me. We can practice, and he has a.
Oh.
Yummy.
Oh man. Catch him in the face.
So he's struggling with his relationship with the symbiotic.
Hey,
what is it called?
Yeah, symbiote.
Okay, symbiote. There, thank you.
He says hi. One is the
lonely. Ooh, little Alcatraz action.
Thinking about you.
Yeah.
Because you and I are the same.
Okay. They're the same. He's punching the fucking wall.
We ever make.
I mean,
we leave behind.
Oh,
that guy's been in everything lately.
Yeah, he was part of a Snatch.
Darkness.
Yeah,
he was Tommy.
Rescuer never comes. Welcome back, Eddie Brock.
Oh,
It's been a long time.
he smashed a spider.
Miss you so much.
Oh,
Oh,
is this? They're giving him the gas chamber. It looks like.
put down.
Come chaos.
Oh, that's bad enough.
Chaos.
Okay.
Soon come. Is the loneliest number that you ever
The chocolate delivery hasn't arrived yet.
No!
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen.
No, you cannot eat, Mrs. Chen.
What?
Nothing?
Ooh. Wow.
Oh man.
That was They've got the CGI down for the cool looking fucking Venom and Spider-Man and shit now.
Yeah, it's not like you can see they're like highlighted around them like the pixels and stuff.
Yeah, it's all. But were people saying that when 15 years ago? Wow, the CGI.
No, it was like one of those.
It looks
like,
so hokey.
Oh, how did they do this?
Yeah,
How did
computers.
Steven Spielberg make dinosaurs come alive?
Computers did this. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Is Jeffrey stoked on that one?
Oh yeah, he's
got to be really excited about that. That looked a little. Probably won't let the 5-year-old watch that. I'm just saying that's my parenting.
Probably
move.
smart. Probably smart. Now me,
I could foresee some nightmares coming from a Carnage or Venom episode. But I mean, Jeffrey's 10. Pretty much, might as well be a teenager. Feels like, I'm sure sometimes.
And he watched the first time we watched it in the theaters.
Ooh,
first one came out. That was
nice.
2 years ago. He was 7?
No, dude, I think that
was
was 4 years ago.
Was it 4 years ago?
At least. Hold on, let
maybe.
me go. Let me see. Okay. Tom Hardy. Well, we can also we'll wrap the episode with a little refresher on how the Venom went, and on its tomato how it scored on the tomato meter. Let's see. Venom 2018. So 3 years ago. So we're both right. Okay, Cerny, here is a great example to bring it full circle. What do you think the tomato meter score was for Venom? And what do you think the audience score was? And I'll tell you now, there's a
quite a chasm.
50-point swing.
Ooh, so I'm going to say that this isn't really a critics movie, in my opinion. So I'm going to say they push it down to, I'm going to say the 30s, and the audience was in the 80s.
Audience came in at 81.
Ooh.
And it's certified rotten at a 29%.
Oh.
They were not kind to Venom. Not kind.
No, I enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining.
That thing brought in $213 million.
Woo. It's nothing to scoff at.
It's no Inception, which brought in almost $300 million, which Tom Hardy was also in.
Inception?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to let everyone a little secret. I've never seen Inception.
That's a good movie.
I've heard it, and I've always been telling you, I got to watch it. And
it's a doozy. 87 critics scored, 91 on the. So that's our next homework. It's a good one.
Okay, it's my homework.
Highly recommended. You would like it.
Okay.
And it's a Chris Nolan movie, so you really can't go wrong.
Chris Nolan, Tom Hardy. There is no going wrong.
It's like a Chip and Cern wet dream. Well, you better believe you better bet your bottom dollar that next week's episode, full Cerny summer pool countdown recap.
Hot Girl Summer recap plus maybe Inception for the we'll tease it for the following week.
It's going to be too much. It's going to be too much for all the chipmunks and the Cerny sluts. But be sure to keep washing your hands and your mask. And obviously, I know I'm going to continue washing my genitals because I don't want to turn Cerny's pool super murky after I go in there.
Oh man, all that athletes,
ball dander,
jock itch. Oh man,
taint from under cheese and all sorts of stuff. You gotta, if you don't take care of that stuff, Cerny, you can't be hosting pool parties if people aren't taking care of.
You get yourself a lifetime ban list.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if someone is dropping Famunda cheese in the Cerny pool, you're on the fucking ban. You are banned.
You're on the list. You're done.
You're on the list.
You're done.
And the list is not the list to get in. It's a list never to be seen or heard from again.
You're on the substance abuse list.
You are on the pay no mind list. Chip and Cern. And there you shall remain. There you shall remain. Anywho, until next time, I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
Cheers.